Before getting married, my childhood sweetheart fiancée decided to elope with her true love. Her parents locked her up and she called me, asking me to drive her down the mountain. I refused. Her true love came in a rented junker to pick her up at night, but they got in an accident on the way down. Her lover died. She ended up staying and marrying me, and we had kids. Later, when my company went bankrupt, she laughed like a maniac, confessed she leaked company secrets, and revealed the kid wasn't mine. Apparently, she had a fling at a bar. Only then did I realize she hated me because of her lover's death. When I opened my eyes, I was back on the night she wanted to run away. I asked her if she wanted to take my car so they could drive faster. David, you finally met your match. I'm telling you, all this is my doing. You deserve it because back then, when you didn't let me leave with Calvin, and he died, I swore to make your life more miserable than his death. My wife, Clara, stood outside my hospital room crying and yelling. Due to a major data leak, my company lost a big deal and was about to go bankrupt. Trying to salvage the situation, I worked until I fainted. When I woke up in the hospital, Clara was there, shouting like a lunatic. I clutched my chest and asked, "What are you saying?" Clara sneered, "I leaked the company secrets. I want you bankrupt and destitute. Oh, and here's a secret. Your beloved Mike isn't your son." She handed over a DNA test showing my son wasn't biologically mine. Clara laughed wildly. "He's from a one-night stand at a bar." "Oh, David, I've been married to you for 4 years, and now I've finally avenged Calvin." "Ha! Clara and I grew up together, our families were neighbors, and marriage came naturally." Right before the wedding, Clara confessed she loved someone else, Calvin, and wanted to leave with him. Her parents locked her up, and she begged me to take her to Calvin. I said no. That night, she sneaked out while Calvin waited in a rental car. Without headlights on the mountain road, they crashed. Calvin died, Clara survived. She seemed remorseful afterward, so I forgave her. We married, had a son named Mike, and lived a happy life. Only now do I realize Clara resented me, blaming me for Calvin's death because I didn't help her that night. She meticulously plotted her revenge. Overwhelmed, I coughed up blood and passed out. When I opened my eyes, I was back on our engagement night. "David, I don't like you. I won't marry you. I want passionate, romantic love. Calvin takes me on bike rides to watch stars and the moon. You're just boring, always about business," Clara heatedly told me. Her father shook with anger and told her mother, "Lock her up. She's marrying whether she wants to or not. If she dares to be with that man, we'll disown her." Clara retorted, "Why look down on Calvin? Ever heard, 'Don't underestimate a poor young man'? Calvin was just a middle school dropout, making money through illegal street racing, squandering it away as soon as he got it. Yet Clara saw him as a talented Prince Charming." Pretending to comfort Clara's dad, I glanced at Clara, who glared at me. "Don't play the good guy. Forget it. Even if locked up, I won't marry you. I'd rather eat breadcrumbs with Calvin." I laughed at their heart-rending romance and calculated the best time. At night, I found Clara sneaking out, hopping into a waiting junk pickup. I approached. She panicked, thinking I'd ruin her plan. She was wrong. I wouldn't stop her. In fact, I'd support her. I handed over my car keys. "Want to borrow my car? It'll be faster." Clara looked stunned. I smiled. "Silly girl, you're like my sister. I want you happy. Go find your happiness with Calvin." She took the keys, beaming. "Thanks, David. You always cared for me." I glanced at Calvin, in a leather jacket and dyed hair, and shook my head. What a nonconformist, yet exactly her type. I pulled a bank card from my wallet. "You didn't take anything. Here, not much, but it'll get you started. Calvin will surely treat you well." Calvin gleamed and took the card. "Thanks, David." The money would provide them a runway, straining Clara's dad's patience and cutting ties eventually. I watched them drive off in my car, yawned, and called a tow truck to haul the junker away. Sure enough, by early the next morning, all hell broke loose at home. Mom said Clara ran off last night, leaving a note saying she was off to find her happiness. Her parents were furious. Clara actually posted on social media. It showed her and Calvin by the beach, wrapped in each other's arms with the caption, "Nothing is more important than true love, and I know I'll be happy." I liked her post. Friends bombarded me with messages asking what happened. I told them Clara and her love eloped for the sake of love. They were shocked, saying it was like a drama you wouldn't dare script a wealthy young lady and a rebellious guy on a bike. The parents of both families sat down to discuss what to do about today's engagement party, which was only 3 hours away. Clara's sister, Emma, suddenly stepped up and said, "David, would you marry me? If you're willing, let's get engaged today." I used to bring Clara to hang out, and Emma would follow us, calling me brother, asking to join. In college, she even chose the same major as me. Being a few years younger, I always treated her like my little sister. Both families looked at me after Emma's offer, since I was the one involved. If I agreed, we could avoid a big mess and save face for both families. Looking at Emma, blushing but speaking bravely despite her nerves, I suddenly felt a pang of sympathy. Seeing the hopeful eyes of the elders, my heart softened. Sure, let's get engaged today. Thankfully, the invitations only said it was a family engagement celebration, so the switch wasn't too hard to explain. Business acquaintances weren't close enough to know who my girlfriend was, so no one thought anything was amiss. When Emma came out in a dress, I was taken aback. The dress had been tailored for her sister's figure, but Emma was more slender, giving off an unexpectedly graceful beauty. The engagement party went off perfectly. When it was time to exchange rings, I was surprised when my mom handed me our family heirloom blue sapphire ring instead of the custom one. She whispered, "Honestly, I'm quite happy with Emma. It might be her family's fault, but Emma is innocent. Don't make her suffer." I smiled, slipped the ring onto Emma's finger, and it fit perfectly. Maybe it was fate. I looked at Emma and she smiled back. After Clara's elopement, her father was deeply disappointed and decided to have Emma train at the company, grooming her to take over. Clara and Calvin, having run away to Cydia, messaged me, saying they'd rented a cozy little place and Calvin was determined to find a good job and make a name for himself. I replied that they shouldn't worry about the family, and as long as they were happy, it was all good. Emma joined her family's company, showing great dedication. Aside from her classes, she spent every spare moment learning at work, often coming home in the evenings with files to ask me questions. We gradually started acting more like a real couple, growing closer and more in sync. However, 3 months later, Clara called me unexpectedly, demanding, "David, did you get engaged to my sister? Didn't you always say I was the one you loved?" I laughed out of disbelief. "Clara, are you serious? You ran off with another guy and expect me to just wait here until you're bored or dumped and want to come back?" Thinking for a moment, Clara softened her tone. "I didn't mean that. Do you think my leaving brought you two together? I saw my sister's post. She looks happy. That little girl's always had a crush on you, and now she's living her dream." I was shocked to hear this. Emma had a crush on me? Before I could process this, Clara continued, "Without me and Calvin leaving, she wouldn't have this chance. Now she won't even send me some money, and here I am, hanging up on me. David, wire me 100 grand, would ya?" Feigning concern, I asked, "What about the card I gave you? Is it all gone? That money should have lasted you a long time, plus there's the car." Clara said they couldn't find suitable work in City A, so they used up the money. Later, Calvin tried to start a small business, selling my car and investing everything, but got scammed. Now they couldn't even make rent for the next month. I pretended to struggle. "Your dad doesn't want me or Emma involved in your matters." Clara then raised her voice. "David, don't think I don't get what you're up to. You just want to see me humiliated, begging to come back. Huh? You think I'd crawl back just because Calvin's broke? Dream on. He's way better than you'll ever be. I'll endure poverty but never return to you." And with that, she slammed the phone down. When Clara's dad found out, he nearly had a heart attack. He declared, "If she dares run off with that guy, it's the end of our father-daughter relationship. You won't give her a single cent if she calls." Though her dad was furious, I knew that since Clara was still his daughter, her father's disappointment would take much more than just this. For over a month, there were no calls from her. Then I saw a photo she posted on her social media, a positive pregnancy test strip. In the past, out of spite, she'd spent a night with another man, had a baby boy just to humiliate me. I could never erase the memory of how much she'd hated me. This time around, she finally became pregnant with her dream guy. I was curious how long this happiness would last. A love affair strongly opposed by her family, she got pregnant without their consent. It seemed Calvin found a shortcut to wealth pretty fast. Her latest post showed a bowl of street food, with the caption, "In this world filled with daily life, as long as I have the one I love by my side, it's more than enough." I almost laughed out loud. Clara, who was spoiled from a young age actually eating street food. She used to complain about five-star hotel dishes, saying the wagyu wasn't fresh or the plating wasn't pretty enough. Yet now, a bowl of street-style spicy hot pot gives her that life is beautiful fireworks feeling. Emma saw her sister's social media post and photos and was speechless. Is she out of her mind? That Calvin guy doesn't look like a good person at all. She spent hundreds of thousands on him in half a year and still believes he's just waiting for the right chance to succeed. I chuckled. Who knows? Maybe this is what they mean by being love-struck. But even being love-struck can't beat the reality of everyday life. When Clara was 5 months pregnant, she came back home. When I got to her place, there she was, belly out, sitting on the couch saying, "Dad, I'm your daughter too. I deserve half the family's assets. Just give me my share, and if you don't want to recognize me as your daughter anymore, that's fine." Her dad's face turned a dark shade. "Nonsense." Clara said, "I left to pursue true love. How can you be such close-minded parents, insisting your daughter marry someone she doesn't love? Just give me my share of the money, and I won't bother you again." Emma helped their dad calm down, saying, "Sis, have you thought this through? Is Calvin worth cutting ties with the family?" Clara sneered. "Isn't my leaving exactly what you wanted? Now you can be with David and have all the family assets. Are you happy now? Anyway, I'm taking my share today." Emma's face turned red with anger, and she stopped engaging. Their father sighed deeply. "If you leave Calvin and come back, I'll forgive you. But if you insist, you understand that you will no longer be my daughter, and the company won't have anything to do with you." Clara lifted her chin defiantly. "If you want me back, give Calvin a manager job at the company. He's so capable, he'll surely manage well. If you don't agree, I'll leave with him, and you can consider me as not your daughter." Her father nodded. "Fine, fine." He took out a card. "There's $1 million on this. Take it. After this, you're not my daughter. Sign this agreement to give up your inheritance rights." Clara quickly took the pen, signed the agreement, fingerprinted it, grabbed the bank card, and left without looking back. "Don't come looking for me even when I succeed." Clara is really oblivious to everything. She has no idea what she's giving up, but it suits me perfectly. She won't have another chance. Outside, Calvin waited for her, decked out in leather jacket and pants, smoking on a motorcycle. "Did you get the money?" he asked when he saw her. Clara waved the card triumphantly. Calvin asked, "How much?" Clara said, $1 million. Calvin was thrilled and gestured, "Hop on." Clara struggled onto the motorcycle with her belly. I watched from the second-floor balcony wondering, how long will the $1 million last them? Turns out 2 months. 2 months later, Clara, now 7 months pregnant, showed up back home again. Calvin joined her as they stormed into her father's company, pulling him out of a shareholder meeting. Standing boldly with her belly, Clara said, "I want to sell my shares. $5 million. Dad, if you don't buy them, I'll sell to someone else. I'm giving you first dibs because you're my dad." Emma stared at her in disbelief. "Are you serious? You're threatening your own father with your shares, using them as bargaining chips?" Her father shook his head, called for a lawyer, signed the contract, wrote the check, and summoned security. From today, Clara is no longer a shareholder. She's not allowed up here again. He turned back to the shareholders' meeting to announce it. Clara lost the last shred of affection her father had for her. Calvin and Clara moved into Calvin's parents' home after that. With $5 million, they bought a house, and Calvin's parents boasted that their son snagged a rich heiress. Calvin's mom often bragged to neighbors, claiming her son had skills, finding a wealthy daughter-in-law who fetched money home every time when needed. This time, snagging millions, they bought a house, planning to move out soon. Calvin became a legend in that poor alley. People greeted him everywhere, and over time, Calvin's vanity reached new heights. With the first million, he squandered it in gambling instead of living wisely. This time, Clara's $5 million from the shares got into Calvin's hands. He bought a house and spent lavishly on friends who constantly egged him on for bigger ventures. He fell into their trap, squandering another couple of million. Worst of all, he ended up $2 million in debt. Calvin pressured Clara to get money from home. Clara sobbed, suggesting they sell the house to cover the loss. Calvin's mom flipped out. "That's my son's house, you can't sell it. Aren't you a rich girl? Just go home and get more money." Calvin's mom didn't know Clara was cut off. Calvin, on the other hand, knew but kept quiet, coaxing Clara. "Family don't hold grudges. Dad must have been speaking out of anger. Let me take you home. We'll bring a nice bottle of wine and smooth things over with my father-in-law." Clara thought it made sense, but she also needed a good reason to go home. Just then, it was her father's 60th birthday, and he invited some close friends to celebrate. Our family prepared gifts and attended the dinner. I went with Emma, and I brought a gift for Clara's dad. It was a calligraphy painting by his favorite master, something I got with difficulty at an auction. Emma was impressed and said her dad might want to cuddle with it at night. As the party was about to start, Clara arrived with Calvin. Her dad's face dropped immediately. Clara ignored it and walked up, saying sweetly, "Dad, Calvin and I are here to wish you a happy birthday." Clara's dad didn't respond and turned away. A guest nearby asked why they didn't hold a wedding reception, noting Clara seemed to be expecting. Things got awkward, so I quickly handed over the gift to ease the tension. "Uncle, this is a birthday gift from Emma and me, wishing you prosperity and longevity." Clara's dad forced a smile and said, "Thank you, that's kind." He opened the gift and everyone was amazed. One guest was envious. Future son-in-law really went all out. This is a precious gift. Turns out David won the auction for that master's calligraphy last time. The compliments made Clara's dad look proud, and he told my parents, "You've raised him well. Good kid. Uncle will have a few drinks with him tonight." Before he could finish, Clara interrupted, "Dad, Calvin brought you a nice bottle of wine." Calvin had been ignored for a while and glum-faced, but he brightened up and eagerly offered the wine. "That's right, Dad. It's for you." Clara's dad waved him off. "Don't call me Dad. I can't accept that. Take it back." Clara started crying. "Dad, how can there be grudges between family? I'm just marrying someone I love. You had to cut ties over that? Everyone should see if he's being too harsh." Clara's dad, his face darkened, said, "Once you took the dowry money and sold the shares, you were no longer my daughter, John. You didn't consider your parents then. Don't talk about family now." Clara's mom tried to calm him down. "All right, don't get upset." She looked at Clara with disappointment. "It's your dad's birthday. Do you want to upset him to death?" Clara wiped her tears. "I don't care. I need $2 million now. If you don't give it to me, I'm not leaving." I was shocked. She mimicked Calvin's mom's rude ways brilliantly. Emma stood up. "Sis, if you're here to celebrate, have a seat over there. This table is full. Ruining Dad's birthday won't help you." Reluctantly, Clara shut up and moved with Calvin to another table. Calvin muttered angrily, "Why can't you sit there? Aren't you his daughter?" Clara replied, "Because he thinks I married someone poor, unlike the younger son-in-law who pampers him with gifts." Clara's dad went pale and fell back onto the floor, hitting his head, and blood pooled at the back. "Dad, call 911. Clara's dad's birthday party turned into chaos because of her. At the hospital, Clara stood outside the emergency room, pregnant but unable to cry. Her mom looked at her. "Go away. I don't want to see you." "Mom, I'm still your daughter. How can you be so cruel? Just over money?" A nurse came out. "The patient needs a blood transfusion, but we're low on type A." "Who's type A?" Emma quickly stepped forward. "I'm his daughter. Let me get tested." Clara's mom stopped her. Emma, you have a cold. Not suitable for this. Clara, you're type A. Can you donate? Calvin nudged Clara's sleeve discreetly. Clara realized, Mom, I'll donate, but first I want 2 million. No one expected her to say such a thing. Her mom was on the brink of fainting. The nurse added, immediate family can't donate. I just finished my call. Auntie, I'm type A. I'll do it. I called my dad. He's type A too and is on his way. Clara quickly tried to defend herself. I didn't mean that. I'll donate now. Her mom slapped her. I've never regretted having you so much. You drove your dad to this and now demand money to save him? She slapped her again. That's for us raising you. Now leave. Immediately or else. Clara wanted to cry, but Emma glared coldly. Clara, since childhood, our parents gave you everything. You ran away for some guy, and now want money after ruining Dad. And now you're bargaining over his life? Get out now. Calvin, seeing the situation, quickly led her away. After Clara's dad was stable, no matter how much Clara pleaded, her parents refused to see her ever again. She broke their hearts completely. Later, people who attended the party heard what happened and called Clara an ingrate. They knew Clara's dad cut ties with her. She was no longer family. Calvin was furious for not getting the money. Under pressure from debt collectors, he hid at home, drinking and taking his anger out on Clara. Drunk, he even hit her once. Clara had never been hit before. The slap left her stunned. She ran to the rooftop crying, threatening to jump. A pregnant woman about to jump became instant social news. Even reporters rushed to the scene to capture and report this breaking story. Clara sat on the rooftop, her pregnant belly heaving with sobs. Her hair was a mess, hastily tied back. She wore old clothes from Calvin's mom, who was bigger in size, perfect for maternity wear. I stared at the TV, shocked. Was that Clara? The police called Calvin to the rooftop to talk to Clara. Still drunk, he slurred, not my problem. If she wants to die, let her. Clara cried to the police, I want to report him. He owes money, gets drunk, and beats me. Arrest him. Calvin's mom threw a fit. Nonsense. My son hit you? Who are you to accuse him? Hearing the mention of an arrest, Calvin sobered up slightly. Yeah. Who are you? Do I know you? Clara. I'm about to have your child, and you say you don't know me? Calvin. Having a kid with me? Are we married? Do we have a certificate? Don't accuse me unjustly. I didn't hit you. The police urged Calvin not to provoke Clara further. Only then did Clara realize they never registered their marriage. Technically, she was unmarried with a child. Calvin could claim not to know her, and she had no proof to show they were a couple. Clara broke down, crying to the camera. Film this. I want to expose everyone's dirt. This man tricked me into marriage for children because he was in debt. When I couldn't bring home money, he'd beat me. He's a freeloader living off women. His name is Calvin. Remember him. My dad, John, is the chairman of the company. He only cared for my sister, never me, because I refused an arranged marriage. They kicked me out and are leaving everything to her. Just for seeking true love, what did I do wrong? Is money everything in this world? Everyone says I'm the bad person, but I am the victim. So unfair. She stood up, threatening to jump. Just saying John's name shot the news up to trending topics, causing widespread impact. Emma's family was watching Clara's news as well. Hearing what Clara said, her mother cried, John, our daughter's so ungrateful. How could she mix up right and wrong, even slandering her parents? Clara's father made a call, and reporters soon arrived. Clara's father nodded. I apologize for my daughter's actions taking up public resources. I want to clarify things through your channel. The reporters were eager. Clara's father pulled out a weathered brown envelope, emptying its contents for the camera. Proof that Emma was adopted from an orphanage over 20 years ago. He said, Clara, we gave you the best upbringing and had high hopes, but we failed to teach you decency. Your sister isn't our biological child. When she learned this, she cried, regretted she couldn't donate organs to us if needed. Silly girl, she never wanted to compete with you. I initially left everything to her, but she refused. She believes taking care of us is her duty as a daughter. but she won't accept inheritance. So, your mom and I decided our estate will go to charity after we're gone. Not everyone is like you, Clara. You've deeply disappointed us. Luckily, we have a good, obedient daughter. Clara's father's interview caused a huge stir. People realized Emma was adopted, which explained why Clara's mom knew their blood types didn't match. Watching the interview via a reporter's phone, Clara fell apart. How did this happen? This was supposed to be mine. Who did this to me? As she lost focus, the police saved her. But it stressed her pregnancy, and she was ready to give birth. When Calvin learned Clara was the sole heir, he got sneaky again. After Clara gave birth and was discharged, Calvin sweet-talked her, claiming he drunk too much and promising never to do it again. Clara believed him, feeling elated. They agreed to get their marriage certificate once she finished her postpartum period. Calvin thought he was clever, planning on the fly. Clara thought Calvin genuinely loved her. But they never had the chance. By the time Clara returned home with the baby, her parents had joined a luxury cruise trip, avoiding them for a month. They waited outside her parents' house all day, but no one showed. I had already taken Emma to live in my downtown apartment, ignoring them. They tried to see Emma at the company, but security, under Clara's dad's orders, denied her entry. They left disappointed. Desperate for the household registration, Calvin snuck in and got caught, leading to a police report. When Emma and I arrived at the station, Clara was there with the baby, crying. It's my house. I lost my keys. My husband was just helping me. It's a misunderstanding. Emma fumed. Breaking into a house isn't right. Everyone knows Dad severed ties with you. It's no longer your home. Clara threw her child into the police officer's arms and rushed at me. You orphan? Trying to take over my family? Let's see if I don't tear your mouth apart. I stood in front of Emma, pushing Clara away, gazing coldly at this crazy woman. Clara, I'm warning you. You lay a finger on her, and you're gonna regret it. A female officer glanced at Clara, muttering, Isn't that the woman who tried to jump a while back? Clara snapped, I don't care. Give me the household registration book. I need it for registering my marriage. I said, I'll give it to you if you move out your registration immediately. Clara scoffed, don't worry. Once I'm married, I'll move it to Calvin's place. We quickly handed her the registration book. After getting her marriage certificate, she gleefully transferred her household out. By the time Calvin realized she had moved out her household registration, it was too late. Enraged, he pushed Clara against the wall, cursing her for being a fool. He barked about how moving it out changed everything, wondering about the future division of any inheritance. The next time we saw Clara was when Emma and I were preparing for our wedding. She had graduated college and we'd set our date. We were out shopping for furniture for our new home when we surprisingly ran into Clara on the street. She was pregnant again, sporting a big belly. Calvin stood across from her, arm wrapped around another woman. Clara swung her purse at Calvin. I'm pregnant, and you're cheating on me? I gave up my family for you, and this is how you repay me? Calvin shoved her aside. You dumped your family, not me. Had I known your parents didn't support you, I'd have never married you. You can't do anything, living off me, and you dare lecture me? Look at yourself, what man would fancy you? Get back home and do some chores. With that, he left, still clinging to that other woman. Clara was left crying hysterically. I couldn't help but smile a little. This is exactly the kind of fairy tale romance Clara always dreamed of. Lucky for me, I steered clear and found my real love. Emma, worried about her being adopted, nervously asked me, David, I'm not a biological daughter. If my background is a problem, we can call off the wedding. I playfully pinched her nose, grinning. Wasn't there a little girl who had a crush on David since forever? Now that you have our family heirloom ring, you're trying to back out? Dream on. You're responsible now. Emma hugged me, laughing. But I won't have any money. You'll have to take care of me, David. I pulled her close, chuckling. Call me honey, and I'll take care of you. Emma. Honey.